What would you like to hear say here tonight?
Well, look, do you know something, guys? When I was driving up here this evening from West Kerry, do you know something that got me thinking, by God, St. Michael's GA, do you know something, guys? These are serious, serious operators. And you know, I think it was Shakira that said the hips don't lie, but neither did the figures. Why? This great club founded 1941. This year alone, as you mentioned, they won the Tansy Cup, which is the Division 3 league. They won the County Junior A Championship, the first adult championship in 30 years. Now gone up into intermediate. And finally, leaving all that great success aside, and this is important, the single greatest man or woman in the entire history of this great club. Who? Mick Henry. Why? Have to say, but that's what he wrote down here in the sheet.
Pascal Donoghue, former Finance Minister, you have another budget announcement for us.
Yes, thank you, and I'm delighted to confirm that as part of the cost of living supports that this government are providing for families up and down the country, we're delighted to announce that this winter, those people who are feeling cold can now simply identify as warm.
Brian Cody, former Kilkenny Banisher, have you any words of wisdom for us tonight?
I suppose, first and foremost, it was an honour and privilege to be here. I suppose the one thing I'm often asked as former Kilkenny manager is what is the secret to success? And whether it's in life or in the sporting field or in business, the fundamentals for success are the very same. Hard work, humility, ambition, unwavering commitment, dedication. But sometimes even if you have all those things in place, as Tony Bambrick said to me once, he said the difference between winning and losing is to never forget that sometimes a good umpire is better than a bad corner forward.
Des Cahill, you're going to announce the St. Michael's Moment of the Year for 2023 tonight.
Thanks, Ian, and we're now almost at the end of the Sunday Game Show, where we look back on what has been a fantastic year for everyone involved in St. Michael's GA, and after much deliberation, the highlight of 2023, the Moment of the Year award winner is Ronan Cox, and it's for his spectacular shoulder. That good, they almost reopened the A&E in Roscommon.
Luke Payne Flanagan MEP, there's big elections coming up.
Well, look, first of all, I just want to say it's absolutely fantastic to be here as your representing MEP for the Midlands Northwest constituency. But yet again, as you say, there are major elections coming up in the next few months. But still, the burning issue in the corridors of power in Brussels is still the turf cutting ban. And I mean, as Roadstone himself down there, Derek McGuinness, he said to me, Ning, there's no issue with the turf cutting ban down around where we are. He said the only problem we have is it's impossible to get young fellas to go down and foot the bloody
Ireland rugby legend Brian O'Driscoll, concussion is still a huge problem in the game.
Yeah. Look, rugby's a bloody hard game. And, you know, concussion is still, for me, a big cloud on the horizon. And I think World Rugby has done a lot of good work. But I've been very fortunate throughout my career to have had no ill effects. So I just want to propose a toast to the bride and groom.
Me, senior football manager Colin O'Rourke, do you think Dublin needs to be split in two?
Well, look, I think the one thing that I would say is that I have often been asked why it is I think that Dublin needs to be split in two. And the reason being that all the great league teams that I was lucky to be part of throughout the 80s and 90s was very simply because whichever opponent I faced on the pitch, I always believed in splitting them in two.
David Fitzgerald, there's a serious issue you want to highlight here tonight.
Look, all I'm going to say here, you know, there's a serious issue out there at the moment, and it's people in their own communities who are treated like outsiders. And I know because I've been an outsider for years. I'm not going to name names, but I spoke to Agnes Dowd. She said, Davy, when I first moved up here from Limerick, it was unreal hard, she said. I had to change the way I walk, I had to change the way I talk, to try and fit in. She said it was that bad. She said, I used to go around the house when no one was looking, wearing the green and white jersey, singing Limerick or a lady, just to
Former world boxing champion Chris Eubank, you have some advice for us tonight.
Well, first of all, let me say this. As someone who was a boxer and a fighter, the words we speak have meaning. What we say has impact. But sometimes the words we speak mean the same thing, but also the exact opposite. So let us take, for example, two very simple words, and that is complete and finished. So, for example, if we say a gentleman marries the right woman, well then, my friends, we say that he is complete. However, if that gentleman marries the wrong woman, well then, my friends, he is finished.
Good advice. Good advice. Lee Varadkar, welcome to Carrick and Shannon Taoiseach.
First of all, I'd just like to say it's a huge privilege and honour to be here tonight with the great people of St. Ronan's GAA. I think tonight it's a night where we rightly recognise your remarkable achievements in winning the Roscommon District League. Hashtag, I absolutely haven't got a clue, sorry.
Former Mayo senior football manager James Horn, any regrets with the Green and Red Mayo?
Yeah, look, I've told the years, I probably have a few regrets. Probably the biggest regret I will have is that I didn't bring Donald Lane into the back of the reason is very simple. I was going to bring him in as a forwards coach for the simple reason, if I could have got our guys up front to have had half as good a conversion rate in front of goals as this guy has on Tinder.
Michael Fitzmaurice, local TD, has the Green agenda gone too far?
Well, look, we hear all the talk over the last few years about climate change and the Green Party, right? Now, the elephant in the room, as far as I'm concerned, is all these proposed wind farms that are going up and down the country into farms and villages and parishes, destroying the place, right? Now, whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, the technology is very straightforward. Like the wind blows, the blades go around, it spins the turbine, pumps generating electricity into the national grid. Happy days, no issue with that, right? But what these so-called experts have failed to mention is what happens if the wind changes direction and instead the blades start going back the other way, and instead of making electricity they sucking it back out of the wind. Actually, the public underground was known for a national
We have a vote. Former Mayo Manager John Mahan, I know you like a good night. Are you having a good night so far?
Yeah, well, listen, Ian, it's absolutely fantastic to be here tonight. And listen, what can you say? When you look good, you feel great. And I feel absolutely fantastic. And I suppose the biggest compliment I could probably pay myself right now is that I'm in almost as good a physical shape as Eamon O'Hara is. What am I say? A lot of guys say the greatest export out of Sligo was either W.B. Yeats or Westlife. For me, it's got to be Eamon all day.
Current Sunday game pundit Ursula Jacob, what has been your standout moment in the club?
Yeah, look, for me, I think the biggest standout this year has been, for me, for St. Michael's, is Dahi Noon. I mean, not so much for his exploits on the pitch, but he's probably the only guy in the GA that has a song named after him. And I'm one of the lads who's just dying to go and sing it for him.
Michael O'Mara Hartig, Fudge.
Now, the first thing I would say is call on Tierney Talks show. That means there's a lot of people here. I would say the crowd here tonight reminds me of the first Munster final I ever attended. It was in 1843. Now I almost didn't get here at all. And why, you might ask? Well, my invitation only came in the door this morning. But as Eddie Heslin said to me, he said, Mihal, he said, with Ann Post, he said, sometimes we're a little bit like Bulmer's cider. Nothing added but time. And there's one man here tonight I better give a small mention to. He had a very difficult time this year. It is Neil Cox. He said the night of the county final when his tractor went missing. He said it was a time in his life he'd never forget. And he said the story got so big, he said, behold, he said, they actually made a short film out of it. It was premiered here only last week in the cinema in Carrick. And he said to me, it is called simply The Tractor. And he asked me if I'd seen it. And I said no, but I've seen the trailer.